Hi, it's Christina at Cemetery of Choice. It's September 2nd, 2020, and I'm going to give you a little bit more of a behind the scenes look and explain why the story I stumbled on today about the 1871 abortion death of a young girl named Emily Post is definitely not getting written up today. When I find out about something, typically the first place I go is newspapers.com. I keep up my subscription to that, and I put in sometimes I don't find very much, so I don't have to narrow it down, but with a common name like Emily Post, I narrowed it down to the year and the year after, and that enables me to find the articles, and I'm just going to give you one example. So I see that the article's here, and so I want to save it. So I go into that portion, and I leave some room at the top to put. Later on, I'm going to put in the name and date of the newspaper. You know me, I've got this thing about making sure I've documented the ever-living snot out of everything. I can't just take a few notes and write it up and go, yep, there we go. So I do that. I tell it save. I always tell it save as a JPEG so I can edit it. And I've already done that. I want to show you, look at the sheer number of articles I found. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 articles. And I go into Photo Editor and I open them in batches. And because a lot of these are huge sections of the page, I just default opening them Ultra HD to make sure that it's going to be, see this one, it turned out not to be necessary to open it in Ultra HD because it's small, but I just do this by default when some of them are going to be gigantic so that I'm sure I've got everything I need. So come on, there's one more. I think I opened 5 of them. And so part of the reason I open more than one at once is because then it gives me this little banner so that when I go to to enter the date in the top, I can hover over that and make sure I've got all the information I need. So you can see I have to decide how much to resize it. This is readable as it is, but it's already 458 pixels wide, and that's a bit wide. So I try not to have any single column wider than 400 pixels if I can help it. So that's still legible, but I don't want to bring it down any smaller. And then it's the Brooklyn Daily Eagle, October 3rd, 1871. And I found that 20 point is usually good. So this is Emily Post, so I'm going to save that as so this makes it easy for me to find later when I actually go to do the write-up. And then the originals that are all kinds of weird sizes or that have more information that I need, those I get rid of. So you see here, it's got the story of Emily Post, but I also brought in this whole banner here so that I can cut and paste and shrink that down, because I like as much as possible to have the authenticity of the actual original source rather than me just typing it in. And you can look and see that this is very information deep. It's entire questions and answers during a coroner's inquest or during a trial. So I am going to have to take all of this information, and these are the later articles. The later articles tend to be smaller and less dense in the immediate aftermath of the death, if it gets a lot of press, it can sometimes be an entire newspaper page that's this dense that I have to sort down and grab the information. And there's a lot of he said, she said, and sometimes I can kind of figure out the truth of the matter because some people's lies are just so transparent, or you have 5 or 6 people who are saying the same thing and one person arguing against it, then, you know, I'm going to assert that what the 5 or 6 people said was probably true. And I'll come over to Real Choice. This is back in the section where I write the blog posts. And here, this is the September 4th one. Let me close that for a minute. So I'm going to set that to September 4th. And I'm just going to hit publish right now because it's not going to post it. So I'll hit new post. I just write Emily Post for now. And this is going to be scheduled. The anniversary date is August 29th, which is past, so I'm just going to jump ahead to August 29th of next year, and this is going to remind me, I'm going to take all those articles and get them put in here so that they're where I can find them. I'll pull them in, and then as August 29th, 2021 rolls around, then I can go in, write up the article, and go in and see if I can also find more information. I'll often go to Ancestry.com. Sometimes there's additional information there. More often I'll find information about the doctor than I will about the victim. Sometimes I can use Ancestry to verify a death date. Newspaper articles can be highly inaccurate. It's also a good source for getting names correct. So this is why this and this are why Emily Post is not getting a write-up today. She's going to get one next year. Going to have some slack time where I'm going to have to tackle her.